Apartments or condos, should I rent or should I own? Escrow, leasehold.
Welcome to Real Estate After Dark. I'm your host, Larry Casselberry, and I'm missing my favorite co-host, Miss June King. Hey, June, we miss you. We wish you the best of luck with your family. And I know if you guys need to contact June for any of your mortgage needs, you can reach her at 469-432-2834. We're missing you. It's really, really good rates out there. And let's catch up soon. I got a really cool host today. My mentor, Mr. Darien Hall. Man, welcome to the show.
Oh, happy to be here. And I'll do my best to be a fill-in with the absence of June. So I'll do my best here.
Oh, cool. Man, I got to tell you, I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's been a couple months of trying to get you to come on the show because I definitely wanted to see our audience to see just how much, you've been a really helpful for me into a real estate career. And just getting into it, I want to say thank you for believing in me, for just getting me started with this career. And then, man, I really want to dig into you. I really want to dig into Diamond D Real Estate, broker by EXP. So I really want to dive into this. So I know our listeners are worried, are going to be figuring out, hey, who is this guy? Because everybody knows the name, they know the brand, and so we get a chance to bring them to the forefront.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So if you could, man, could you start us off? I really want you to take us through a timeline because we definitely have a lot of parallels.
Yeah.
Family, past jobs, just friends also too. So we have a lot of parallels, but I want you to take us through like a timeline. Darien, OSU, leading us up into. When you work for a phone company,
Oh yeah.
right into like when you first got into real estate and fell on your face.
Oh yeah.
Leading to where you are now to your boutique brokerage, and then kind of where we are now with our brokerage with EXP.
Yes.
So kind of take us through a timeline of like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, man, thank you so much for the kind words.
Sure.
You have been just great. Mentee and I couldn't ask for anything better of you. Obviously, I get a chance now to see you really develop.
Yeah,
and it's just phenomenal to watch. So
man,
hats off to you, man.
Appreciate it.
Much more success in the future.
Thank you.
So yeah, Diamond D. Man, I don't even know where to start on this thing. So I guess since you mentioned my alma mater, since you mentioned OSU,
of course,
I guess I'll start there. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, went to OSU. Had the dreams and aspirations of to continue to play collegiate sports. So I played football, and I finished up at OSU and went to a Division II in Oklahoma called University of Central Oklahoma. And this is back in '97, so I don't want to age myself too much here. But I spent a couple of years there and then transitioned out of Central Oklahoma, still playing a little bit of football. And, I got an injury there that kind of made me pivot a little bit on what I needed to do moving forward. And I didn't really know what I was going to do at the time. So I ended up moving to Dallas, Texas. I had met my now wife, and she'd already was living in Dallas. So, I moved to Dallas with her. And, immediately when I moved to Dallas, I needed a place to work. I was hoping that I could continue some form of football life. Whether it was arena or walking on to the Cowboy. I was hoping I could just be like a free agent.
Man, didn't we always want to be a Cowboy?
Oh my God, man! To this day, I promise. I was like, Zeke, if you don't come back, I promise I'll get out there and I'll do something.
Yeah,
but I would easily pull a hamstring, so I knew that wasn't gonna work. But
don't we all?
Yeah,
yeah. The hamstring is bad.
Right. I can look at somebody sprinting and I'll pull my hamstring.
Exactly.
And I'm not even running. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But crazy. But yeah, so I needed a job, and I immediately went into a Sprint store, and I'll never forget this guy. He was actually one of the first persons I met here that inspired me, and his name was Art Bustillos. He was the manager at the Sprint store over in MacArthur in Irving, and I walked in. I said, "Hey, I need a job." And he said, okay, what can you do? And I told him, I think I'm good at sales. And he fired off a few questions, and I answered them real quick. And he said,
Right.
okay, man, I'll call you later. And I didn't think I got the job, but by the time I got home, he had called me and said, you got the job. So I was like, sweet. Working at a Sprint store. And immediately we went from there and we opened up our own branch in Louisville,
Of course,
where I was living at the time. And so we had our own Sprint store there. And I became what you call like an assistant store manager, supervisor position. And Art was my manager. And we built this team, man. We
right.
together, me and him, we were able to fit out the store. So we built our own sales guys and our own technicians. And so even, from playing football, I always had the team aspect. I always, but then I didn't have football anymore. I was like, man, what am I going to do to get it?
Right.
This team, collaboration again.
Of course.
I got that with the cell phone company and the store that I worked with. And so we built out this team. We called ourselves the Muskrats. And
Muskrats.
Yeah, we the Muskrats.
Came up with that name.
It's the Muskrats, man. It was funny. But we were, we had the synergy in that store that allowed us to be able to, we were always one of the top stores.
Right.
And for me personally, that's where I really kind of developed my passion for really going above and beyond with service, right? And so you could come into the Sprint store and I would have like a line of people waiting to see me, and everyone else would kind of be
doing their own thing,
but I would have like a line, people would come, hey, you need some help? No, I'm here to see Darien.
There we go.
So I'm like, cool, so it was great for me, and it was great, getting a chance to be face to face with people, and that's kind of why I was able to really dive into the relational aspect of just business and helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And then lo and behold, and this kind of, I met you along the way when I was still working at Sprint. And I knew then that we just connected because we had similar commonalities.
The entrepreneurial aspect, and when I worked at Buckle, I was developing a team at the same time too. You talk about teams, and teams are so parallel. Teams are parallel in sports, and teams are parallel in business. Teams are parallel in family.
Oh yeah, life.
In life.
Yeah.
Your friendships are somewhat of a team too.
Oh yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that, but I had to chime in and say something about that because that really kind of touches people. We do everything in team motivation types of situations.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No one, you don't want to go at it alone. I'm really big on a community and fellowship. So yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay. So to speed up everybody with this, is like he came from, a college background, got into corporate America, with the same team aspects from there. My parallels are the same within there too, because I was in the service industry of, clothes working for the Buckle. And so we have that same parallel within that. So this is crazy. And I met the person that got me in real estate from working in the service industry.
Right.
Someone told me one day that, hey, man, you would actually make a really good realtor. And that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So one day I was having a bad day at work. I found an email that she sent me that said I will be good at. So she was one of the last people who said I will be actually good at something in another profession. So that's what got me there.
Oh, nice.
So it's crazy that we had that, that parallel there. But I'll let you finish because I had to chime that in there because this makes sense of the parallelism with us.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah. No, just going back to that, I understood, how you went about, managing your team at the Buckle, right?
Right.
And then, coming from a customer's perspective,
the consumer.
I because of the service, I would just, I don't know if you remember this now, I would just go into the store and say, hey, Larry, man, just, fit me out. Tell me what I need to get.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go search for anything. You were so good. You understood, you asked the right question and you knew what I wanted.
The
what
needs
I needed.
and wants.
And so, it was easy for me. That was a very good transaction, right?
Right.
And it's the same with real estate. And so I knew that, our interactions years ago, I knew then, I was like, he he would be an
You know,
awesome
on top of it.
realtor,
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because everybody's being interviewed. Everybody just knows the qualities in people.
yeah.
You know, sometimes you make a decision, okay, that's going to be a tough one for me in the long term.
Uh-huh.
But then sometimes you're like, yeah, that's going to be a really easy transition for
Mhm.
me. Because maybe at some point in time when you got in real estate, maybe you wasn't ready to carry on a mentor,
Right.
a mentee at
Mhm.
the time.
Mhm.
You know, you're
Absolutely.
trying to get your business off the ground.
Oh, my
So a lot of
goodness.
the things that happen in the foreshadowing with us having a relationship and how easy it was for you to find those things that someone, hey, this guy finds my needs once, he gets to it.
Oh, yeah.
We're compatible. So that actually probably made you ready
Yeah.
when you maybe didn't know you're ready, but you were like, you know, I took away a lot of the, you know, the harder things to make sure this is going to be successful.
Well, it inspired me because
yeah.
I saw the same. I saw the fire and passion,
Mhm.
and so and now that's really what I look for now. You
Right.
know, aside from just if someone has great character and integrity, you know,
Right.
I look for that.
Mhm.
You know, as I attract agents in under our team with Diamond Real Estate Broke by EXP. So yeah,
Exactly.
man, absolutely.
Do you feel do you feel it's important to find the best, what people are good at, and kind of go with that? Or do you find it more or less like, how can I shape this person into this? Because
Man,
I've
that's a
learned
good
both
question.
ways, but I want to ask you, what do you think about that?
You know, that's a good question. I like to see, uh, you know, when I am, uh, and I don't want to say measuring up,
Mhm.
but when I'm interacting with someone, I like to see that, okay, do they care about me?
Mhm.
Are they good at what they're doing? And you know, can I trust them? You know,
Right.
on any level. I
Yeah,
don't
on
care
any
if I'm
level.
buying any car, especially, but
Yeah.
you know, and so that was our interaction
Right.
when you worked at the Buckle. So
Mhm.
you know, that just kind of translates into real estate, right?
Right.
I mean, now
It's
you're
service
doing the
industry.
same thing, you know, on just a different scale.
Right.
But you come from the same. And I think, you know, individuals that already possess that,
Right.
for me, it's almost like a foundational piece. We can
Mhm.
always build up and we can grow. I don't, you know, I'm still growing, you know,
Of
but
course.
I'm passionate and I'm really in tune with personal growth and development. So that's
Right.
kind of one of the things that yeah, man. Going back to that your question, I look for those qualities, and then knowing that you know it's a foundation. Now we can build up from there.
Yeah, and speaking of foundation, like I know with me, I'm heading to my 5th year of real estate. But then if I look at the foundation,
Mhm.
I've been in the service industry for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And then the same way with you, you've been in real estate how long?
So I'm my 13th year.
Your 13th
Yeah.
year. So how
Mhm.
many years have you been in the service industry?
Yeah. So going back to service, then we're I guess 16.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what we're selling.
Mhm.
We're selling the service industry parallel, and making sure we're dealing with the right people, and people are looking for those values for us.
Absolutely.
Because when you start to peel back all the layers, it's all about relationship building.
Mhm.
It's trust. You know, it's having a level of knowing your profession
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
being on top of your profession, and being that, you know, that industry insider that's going to give them the best advantages in this market, because this market is forever changing.
No, it's cautionary. I like to
Yeah,
say
you like it's
cautionary.
cautionary.
Like, what is cautionary, man? I'm like, it's
You're like,
caution. I'm telling you,
let me tell
be
you what this
careful with who you
means.
right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but yeah, no, but speaking to what you just
Mhm.
said, especially on the you know, being a service, and you know, I speak to agents a lot, and I'm like, you know, you all do know that we are the product. Like you are the product in
Mhm.
real estate. It's not the house. No,
Right.
you're the product. Now I think sometimes agents they confuse that a little bit,
Mhm.
and you know, those are the agents that I have a hard time, you know,
Convince. Yeah.
well,
Well,
just
it's not really much
helping
convincing,
them,
helping them understand.
you know,
Yeah.
and just and sadly, those will probably be the agents that'll get replaced by technology because of that.
Right.
You know,
And
when you understand you are the product here,
okay.
you are the service. But you have been hired on behalf of your client
Mhm.
because they want you
You're
to help
first.
them. You know, and
Right. So if I would, I always use the same analogy for some reason. It's you, the service, and then the company you work for. So I always say, and it depends on how you think about this. I always say it's you first, because they gotta like you.
oh yeah,
They got to like you.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got to understand your integrity, your
Mhm.
character, and who you're built,
Mhm.
and the trustworthy within that. And I say 2 and 3 are always interchangeable. And that's the service you can provide, depending on what service, and then also the company you work for. And,
Yeah.
you know, 2 and 3 will always switch. What do you think about that? Is that
Well-
pretty much
well-
along the lines, or they interchange at some points?
Oh, well, you know, personally, I think, you know, you're going to always give the service.
Yeah.
And when,
That's a given.
that's given, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, company, yeah, man, you pivot all the time, man.
Right.
I've
Pivoted a couple of times.
right, man. I mean,
Exactly.
you know, and I'll go back to this because I know this is what you asked earlier about the timeline. You
Right.
know, so going back to, you know, when we met, and then, you know, I got, I became an agent after after Sprint, after
Right.
working there, and same way someone came up to me, and this little old lady, she said, "Hey, look, I think you'll be good at real estate." And I was like,
Man,
"Get
same
outta here.
thing,
You
huh?
serious?" It's like,
At your store, same thing.
right. Just,
Okay.
okay. You
Was she an
think so?
agent?
She was an agent. With,
Okay.
Yeah, with the large brokerage, that the first brokerage I ever started with. And,
Okay.
and yeah, that was the thing, man. Once she planted that seed,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was it, right? That was it for me. And,
Okay.
and yeah, man. So I got into real estate, like I said, 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was eager to get in. I was eager to
Right.
help, you know,
Yeah.
and,
Y'all were.
and then I got my license, and I was like, yeah, where's my
What I
business
do
at?
with it?
Yeah. So people are like, go get it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute,
Ow.
what? This is how this works? Like,
Exactly.
and so I learned really quick that you know, if I wanted to make some income, I needed to go out and get the business. But I came from that background being, you know, in athletics. You know, I was, you know, I always wanted to initiate stuff. Like,
Of course.
people didn't hit me, I hit them. You know,
You can.
people don't call me, I call them. And so I took that, and I said, okay, well, I could do this. And yeah, I mean, I remember I was licensed for, I think, maybe a week, and I went up to a for sale by owner,
Mm-hmm.
and I just knocked on the door, and I'd never been rejected for real estate before, right? So
Right.
I was like, yeah, this it was all new to me.
Yeah.
I knocked on the door, and he said, hey, I was like, hey, man, can I help sell your house? I'm an agent. He was like,
Right.
he looked at me, he was like, you know what? I'm interviewing agents tonight, and I got 3 of them coming by. You know, why don't you come? And I said, great, I'll be the last one. I always like to be the last agent. So I said,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
let me
taught
be the
me
last
that.
one. I
Yeah.
did teach you that,
Yeah,
right?
you did.
And
We
so
can't give them all the sauce today.
yeah,
but
I'm not,
like,
let me stop there. Yeah, let me
let's not give them all the sauce.
right. Yeah, thank you for catching
That
me,
was
because I
a
was
good
about to
one.
give him another nugget.
Yeah. Okay.
So I went by, I did the interview, and I got hired immediately.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget this. I did an open house that weekend, picked up my first buyer, sold them a house right around the corner, and then I got a contract for that house like within a week. So yeah, I
Wow.
came out but
Came out the gates.
I came out
Learned
the
a lot.
gates, and it was, you know, going through that transaction, I didn't have anyone. You know, I had people in the office where they were doing their own thing. You know,
Right. It was every man for
they didn't
themselves.
have to care about me. You know,
Yeah.
he just, you
Who's
know,
that guy?
yeah, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And so, you know, just going through that transaction, I learned a lot. But I also know the frustrations now when
Mhm.
new agents come into the business,
Of
because I
course.
can relate to that.
Right.
So
Yeah, the same parallel when I started, you know, with the brokerage that I worked for, you know, everybody's on their island, you know, trying to get their business going. There's not a lot of idea sharing. And one thing you find out is when you do get your license, you know, you got to start learning about contracts. You know, you got to understand how contracts work,
negotiate.
how to negotiate,
How to
yeah,
sell.
yeah. There's layers, you know, how to market.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Mhm.
definitely have to learn a lot of those things. So, you know, when you took me on, you know, as a mentee, and you were my mentor, that's one thing that I could rely on you for. It was more or less like, hey, let me show you how this works, or look over these contracts and let me know what you're seeing. You know, this is how I've done it in this way. This is what you want to do. So it really takes someone that has been through multiple transactions, that's seen multiple situations, and you taught me a lot about how to manage emotions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and taught me a lot about how always to be prepared on the front side. You know, do everything on the front side, you know, when you're helping your clients.
Oh yeah.
And I think that when I was looking for, you know, a chance to be successful in real estate, I got a taste of it with you, because, I had someone, for one, that looked just like me,
Absolutely.
that understands,
Mhm.
The different variables that come
Mhm.
with being an agent.
Yeah.
And so that was another parallel. So I'm like, man, this is lining up just super right.
Yeah.
And I think with the success that we've had in the past couple of years, we continue to work together to this day.
Oh yeah.
So I want to ask you a couple questions, just for people out there that's more or less, um, maybe they're with another brokerage, maybe they're looking for mentorship, maybe they're not so successful where they are and they
Mhm.
want to take it to another level.
Mhm.
What kind of values could you bring to them if they had questions about in mentorship, with going with another company or just to be successful? Now
Yeah.
you could share a couple of them nuggets now. This is where you get some of the nuggets out of the way.
Kind of want to keep those to myself now.
I know.
I think what I would say is this. They need to be comfortable with where they are right now.
Mhm.
And our business, that we go after are really relationally speaking, right?
Relational
So we get
business,
referral
yes.
business, we get repeat business, and I think when agents first start, they it's hard for them to really understand that. It's a different
Mhm.
mindset, kind of. So
And the mindset is entrepreneurial,
right, yeah, I got
and
to
that
get
thing
that.
doesn't turn off.
Right.
You quickly have to learn that. It's
Uh-huh.
not I'm
Yeah.
half the day this, I'm half the day that. Now we all wear different hats.
Yes.
You
Yes. Hmm.
family man, your
Hmm.
coach, your
Hmm.
life coach, your
Hmm.
real estate agent,
Hmm.
you do things for your communities.
Yeah.
You're on the board of this.
Hmm.
So we all wear different hats.
Hmm.
But that entrepreneur hat
Hmm.
is on all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's probably one thing that agents would have to understand. That
Oh
entrepreneur
yeah.
hat they just have to have somebody that's going to show them how to work that entrepreneur hat in every situation throughout their life, because there's business to be done every day.
Well,
And
and you don't, the agents, they don't, again, they don't want to go at it alone.
of
I
course,
think that's what happens a lot.
go at it alone. Yeah, that's huge.
When agents become isolated, and
Hmm.
so it's really important to be involved with whatever group or
Hmm.
brokerage that you may be with. How we do things differently, as with
Yeah.
Diamond Real Estate Group with the XP is, we we all synergize together, and we all
Yes.
share what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
And I think what I like about what we have is, it's almost like iron sharpening
Sharpens
iron,
iron. Yeah.
right? Like we are all bringing something to the table.
Table.
So
Yeah.
so I get, I'm always learning. So I get
Mhm.
to learn the new perspective from the new agents, right?
Yeah.
And I get to like, okay, so
Light
then
a
how can
fire.
I better help them, and just learning from them betters me. So in essence it betters the whole team, right?
Yeah.
So
Always giving value.
oh yeah.
You're
Mhm.
always adding. You're not subtracting. That's one thing I
Sure.
liked about you. Your personality. You're always adding. Be somebody that just wants to add stuff.
Yeah.
Not subtracting.
No, life's too
I
short.
always liked one good phrase. It's in addition.
Oh, and yeah,
Yeah.
I
You know what I mean?
I get tired of people saying I gotta do this or this. And then they get caught up in
Yes,
thinking
sir.
about this or that. And I'm like, we're just doing both. Let's do this
Yeah.
and this. How about that? Because one thing I know, especially as an agent, we can get caught up in our thoughts. We're thinking
Mhm.
too much. And he's like, man, just do it.
Just get good at
Just-
one thing.
Just do it though. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. So this is, or now you're trying to subtract. Okay,
Mhm.
well, if you're gonna be stuck there trying to figure out which way to go, then just do them both.
Right.
All I want you to do is act.
Yeah. Just
Just
act.
do some
There we go.
action,
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of different things that we kind of learn throughout the way. Yeah, I know you told me the one thing that's changed my business in the past couple of years was being proactive. And I know you have a little bit of you have a different term for this now, because you were correcting me the other day. Is being proactive so you can be reactive. Now you had a spin on this the other day, because I know you sent me a message. What did you change proactive to?
No, that was well, actually that message I sent you
Yeah.
was in response to I had a new agent
Okay.
that sent me they asked me something about, well, what's going on with this market right now? I just can't seem to get this going and that going.
Mhm.
And I think the text was, uh, uh, I use adaptive.
Adaptive, yeah.
I put adaptive in there somewhere.
Adaptive,
I was
yeah.
like, well, we are. Um, I wanted the agent to know that yes, we are proactive, but
Mhm.
we're also adaptive. So
Yeah.
we are adapting, and we're able to pivot. Right? That's
Yeah, of
just
course.
that's what happens.
Be able to pivot, yeah.
So yeah, that
Okay,
I
so
forgot I sent that
you
out to
dropping
everybody.
jewels on me over
Yeah,
there.
I sent that out to everybody. I was like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
adapting. But just know. So usually when when I fire off those those kind of statements and
Mhm.
like this is also for me, right? It's
Right.
like I think people always post, hey man, you're always in the gym working out and that's one of your hobbies. I'm like, yeah, I love to do
Yeah,
that.
you
That's my
gonna see some
thing.
posts,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's my thing. But
Yeah.
also what I know is it keeps me accountable because then
Yeah.
I have someone that'll say, man, you've inspired me and because of your posts, I'm working out. And then if I don't post, they're like, man, what's going
What's
on?
going on?
And so it keeps
Yeah.
me accountable now. Now I can't even stop posting that. Like I can't even miss a gym day now
What
because
they
then,
say, if it posts, it don't count.
right.
You know what I'm saying? If it posts, it don't
Right.
count.
Yeah.
You know?
So when I say little statements like that, especially amongst our group, whether it's about real estate or just some kind of personal growth and development,
Mhm.
I'm speaking to myself as well. So
Yeah, it's a lot of like self-therapy and motivation.
Mhm.
It's definitely always positive. And I get people saying, man, your broker be going hard. I'm like, yeah, he do. You know, he go hard in a whole lot of different
Hey,
areas,
but we can go harder.
get to know him.
We can go harder.
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
true.
Like, we can go harder. Like
Yeah.
that's always been kind of my thing. Man, you go. I'm like, no, but there's another level we can get to. Like,
Right. I know you're talking about,
Yeah.
just being adaptive, and we talked about we had recent talks about kind of how the market, there's definitely a shift going or just balancing itself out.
Right. Mhm.
Because you can't be Sky King for a long time.
Mm-mm.
You gotta come back and kind
Correct
of
yourself.
reset something and correct itself.
Mhm.
We've had some conversations about this recently. So going forward, when you think about our profession in real estate and agents having a, just shifting the mindset,
Mhm.
what do you think about, just going forward with real estate, how things are starting to change
Mhm. Mhm.
and ways that agents are going to have to adapt? What do you think that looks like? What's that scope for you?
Well, I mean, for me, and what I like to teach the agents is it really does start in the mindset, right? And so making sure that our mindsets are set, with the best intention, and
Best intention.
how we think and how we talk to ourselves, like with our thoughts,
Mhm.
if all I think about is how softening or how the market is correcting itself or how how oh my God, I can't pick up a buyer, then guess what? I'm not gonna pick up a buyer because
Right.
I've kind of like
The
manifested
energy is
that.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a mindset shift. And I think once you have that piece, it's a matter of okay, get after it, right?
Mhm.
What I've had to do even with my business is, I had okay, I'm gonna check in with 10 people. Well, now
Mhm.
I'm gonna check in with twice as many people.
Right.
So I've had to double.
Adapt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the part of adapting. We just
Mhm.
we have to maybe I think that was a Grant Cardone. I did he 10x, do more. So I
Mhm.
get more active. I just
Get more
and
active.
my mindset is
Adapt.
where it needs to be at. My thoughts are positive, and I just go. I don't even I just do it.
Right. Yeah. It's all strength is in numbers. You definitely have to put out the input if you're going to get the output. You just have to keep it really, really simple. But in a technological form, how do you see real estate kind of changing? How do you think our consumers are really finding out who's the best agent out there? How do you think that's going?
Well, so and that's a good question. I'm excited about this because this is
Mhm.
what we're gonna do. Even years ago, I was on that trend of okay, I'm gonna go to my closings,
Mhm.
and when a lot of agents weren't going to their closings,
Right.
so I started going to all my closings and I started posting a picture with my
Mhm.
clients. Hey, we just closed, and I started this years ago when no
Right.
one was really. Well, now everybody's doing it, and so
Right.
I'm like, okay, great. So now level up again, and
There we
I know
go.
we talked about it when we walked in.
Yeah.
By getting more video involved,
Right.
more real videos from people, and
Right. real
think,
feelings.
right. And so I think I love technology. I
Right.
think technology will replace some of the agents that don't necessarily, who really are not. And I would
Right.
hate to say it, the agents, but some of the non-producing agents, it will
Right.
easily replace
Replace
them.
them. Yeah.
But for agents like us, it will enhance our business,
Right.
no doubt.
Because every business is like super automated.
Mhm.
And if you let the business part of major corporation type of stuff automate you out of your business,
Yeah,
you're doing something wrong.
It-
You're going to be left
agree.
behind.
I agree with you 100%.
Because I see that aspect of it. Because there's big name companies that are pouring into our market
Mhm.
with bigger marketing budgets
Mhm.
and definitely much more visible.
Mhm.
And one thing that you've always kept aligned is the relational
Mhm.
part of our business.
Mhm.
Relationship business versus transactional business.
Mm.
It's really, really huge. And I think that's when the core of, with Buffini, which we've been through
Yes.
that. And I know you've been mentored through Buffini.
Yes,
You
yes. Still
mentored
am.
a lot, still am mentored,
Uh-huh.
and mentored a lot through Buffini with me
Yes.
also,
Oh,
with
yeah.
instilling some really that foundation we
Oh,
talked about,
Yeah.
because it's there and it's not moving.
Mm.
And I think that's been the true core of why we have been successful, is just having that, going on. So
I agree with you.
it's been fun, man.
Yeah,
it's been a
fun.
really good fun ride.
Yeah.
And
keep
I
going.
tell you what, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show. And that if our people wanted to get in touch with you or just find out more about Diamond D Real Estate, broker by EXP, what's a good number, good email they can reach you
Yeah.
out to? I know we're going to put it on the screen.
Yeah.
But I'll let you go ahead and
Yeah.
address your stuff and let us know how we can reach you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, I can be reached by phone, text 214-687-8384. Email Darien, that's DARIEN @Diamond D Real Estate. Everybody forgets the middle D. Can't forget
Sure
that.
do.
DiamondDrealestate.com. And obviously the website URL www.diamonddrealestate.com. I got to come back to the show. I gotta
we got so much more.
I have,
Yeah.
I get asked, hey, what is Diamond? How'd you come up with the name?
Okay.
And I got a story that goes back to real estate with the client.
Okay.
The client actually coined me that name, and I just try to run off with it now.
Okay, well, we got to have you back on for that.
I think they want to hear that. Man.
Yeah, I know. Cool. We definitely want to get a chance to just meet you, and we appreciate you coming on today. I know you just blessed our Real Estate After Dark podcast. I know June's out there smiling. She's at it. She's gonna give me some feedback on this one. It's like, man, that was awesome. I could have been there. I want to meet Darien next time. So she's gonna throw a fit. But we miss you, June. We appreciate you guys listening to us today, and we want to thank Darien coming on the show. And signing off, Real Estate After Dark. I'm your host, Larry Casselberry, and we see you next time. Thank you.